All right, Vanessa, you just did something big. How did you do on your PMP exam?
I passed today, so I'm very excited.
That is super duper awesome. I am pumped for you. We haven't known each other for that long. How long have we known each other? How long have you been in the accelerator program?
Just like 2 weeks.
Just like 2 weeks, no big deal.
2 weeks.
So everybody's got a PMP story. We've heard them all. What is your basic story? I know 2 weeks in the accelerator. What were you like before that point?
So I took the test the first time and I didn't pass. I actually did pretty poorly on it. So I was looking for something that was going to be quick, and I saw the 7-day accelerator program because I'm expecting our first baby in 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
So I wanted to get it out of the way before my thing expired and before the test change, which is January.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a lot of time, and I didn't want to take all these long courses. And when I saw 7 days, I'm like, I can do that. So I gave myself a little room just because I knew I had some studying to do, but the course was amazing. It just made everything make sense. The flows helped me so much on the test because I'm like, oh wait, no, this isn't planning. So I know this is where I am. So these two answers don't make sense. And it helped me so much.
That's awesome. That's awesome. A lot of people have pressure with like, oh, my job, or, my time's running out. You got baby on the way. So that's added pressure. So you got to give yourself some kudos for that.
Well, it's our summer busy season at work too. I
Right.
work for a software company and we do bus routing software.
Okay.
And so all the schools with COVID and everything have been high demand, need training, need all these things. So I've also been working like overtime, getting ready for baby. So this course can really do it.
So let's go. So heavy time at work, super busy with the baby. First baby. I remember first baby. Like first baby's a lot of like worrying and a lot of prep and a lot of prenatal stuff. I can dig it. Not for me, but my wife. It looked hard. How did you do all this and work in 2 weeks? Like, what was your life like and what was the process like?
So I just followed your program. I did day one, I did the videos, I did the, baseline quiz, took down what I need to do on my disappearing brain dump. The EVM was amazing. I had like so many questions on EVM on my test, and I was just using that template, and I'm like, okay, this is not so bad like it was the first time. I was like, okay, I know I have this. I know I have this. This gets me to the end. Good to go. I mean, I took time on those questions on the exam, but I would have taken so much more time if I didn't have that template.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So talk me through a little bit of the EVM. So the EVM made easy course and the stuff that you had in there. Like, what were you thinking before the EVM made easy course and that perspective? How were you thinking about EVM? Was it worrying you, stressing you out? Like, what was it like then?
Yeah, it definitely stressed me out. Like I knew most of the formulas, just from doing project management and have done my CAPM before my PMP. But I didn't realize like how easy it was to do it step by step like that. Usually I'm like, okay, well here I am, and then I have to go here. And it was a little more confusing. And then like the way that you broke it down just made everything make sense.
That's cool. That's cool. Be specific. Like, what is it? Just like the order or the way I explained it, or teach somebody else out there like what your perspective is about how one should look at EVM right now.
Yeah, the way that you explained it on how, who talks to who, what are they looking to get, just the whole flow of it made sense, but also breaking it down so that I could just do it in a flow instead of trying to bounce around all over the place, or how would I get this if I don't have this? It was just so much easier to go through the flow and less time consuming.
That's cool. And I'm glad, because some people say, I didn't have many, but you seem to have a lot of EVM. So you want to be prepared if that is, because it can kill you, like your exam at least. So, okay, let's talk a teensy bit about kind of, the exam day. Like, were you nervous? Like, what was your process like? How did you go and take it? Because you took it as a physical location, correct?
Yeah, so I tried to do the home proctored test last week, but I had so many technical issues that I had to reschedule it, which was really stressful. So when I got the voucher to reschedule my exam, I checked the testing center again, and they had extended their hours. So the only availability was Friday. So I
Oh,
scheduled it Wednesday. So I'm
okay.
like, I have like one day to make sure like I'm ready to go for this test. So the only available time was 6:30 in the morning, and I live like an hour from the testing center. So I had to get up at like 4.
Oh
And
my
like
goodness.
being pregnant, like it is so hard for me to sleep right now. So like
Yeah.
I didn't sleep very well last night. So I was like kind of worried about like, oh, am I gonna be tired trying to like look at these questions? So I was a little nervous going into it, but I had already been to a testing center before, so like that didn't really bother me.
Yeah.
And I thought the test was 100 questions and then a break, but it was 90.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that.
And I had so many of the like EVM questions in the first half, so I didn't want to spend like too much time on them.
Right.
You know what I mean? To just like kind of review, because some of them were tricky.
Yeah.
Um, and so when I came back, like I used all my time
Yeah.
on the exam, like all of it, because I really slowed down and listened to what you and my coach Kelly was amazing on how to like read the question first, read like the rest of the question, and kind of do process of elimination. Like, where am I in the process? Okay, what should have been done? What do I need to do? And
Right.
get those keywords like, what should the project manager have done?
Mhm.
What should you do next? What should you do first? So like slowing down helped me, because I try usually to go fast,
Yeah.
because I get worried about the time. But yeah, I had like 10 minutes to review my flagged questions at the end, and I
That's
used
not so
all of it.
bad. Yeah.
No.
And you did really well. So that's good. I mean, all right, let's talk a little bit. You mentioned Kelly, you mentioned the other coaching calls. How impactful were the coaching calls for you?
The coaching calls were amazing because I got to listen to what other people, their thought process, or why they chose the answers that they chose, and kind of got to discuss it, which helped open my eyes to ways to view those types of things that I may not have in the type of project management that I do. So like we do like agile and stuff like that, and Scrum, and some people didn't. So I felt like I was also like helping them and like providing them like, stuff that's going to help them on their exam. So that was awesome.
That is
It just
cool.
made me feel good that I could help them and they could help me.
Right. And you learn on both sides of it, right? Like, yeah, that's cool. And then there's two calls. There's like the ones with like me or Sandy or those kind of big calls. And then there's like the
Yeah.
focus calls. Um, did you, as you went in there, like a lot of people ask me, how do I know if I'm ready? And did you have a moment or with you and Kelly when you knew you were ready or you had an inkling of it? Like, what was that like for you?
Yeah, like I was talking to Kelly, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready. Like I feel like I am, but I'm still not getting, like above 80s, and she on the, the 50 question one, but like
Yeah.
on the individual ones, I was doing really well. She's like, you got this. Just slow down. You're probably going a little faster than usual, right? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, it's end of the work day. Like, just you're ready. You got this. Just be confident. She's like, one of the things is being confident. And so I took that into my exam. Just, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to do the best that I can. That's all I can do. So that really helped me
That is
calm my
cool.
nerves and go through
I
the test.
I think it makes a big difference. I don't think I know because it's not just about like, oh, some knowledge. It's about how we stick it together. How do we keep control of ourselves and how do we guide ourselves through and manage?
Mm-hmm.
So you did it really well, obviously. Okay, cool. And so you like the coaching calls. You went through there. You like the videos, EVM and stuff. You said flows are super important. For anybody that doesn't know
Yes.
like the importance of flows, can you talk to us about why the flows are important and like what video helped you nail those down?
So definitely in the accelerator class, day 5 shows the 7 flows.
Mhm.
But the first 2 days also show like the flows from initiating all the way to closing. And those help me so much to visualize like where I am, why these things go back into the process. I did not study ITOs at all. I did not study inputs, outputs, tools, techniques. I use a PM1 view here and there, but I just listened to what you said about it's logical. What is this process developing? What other processes would want it? And what do I need to achieve it? And so that helped me so much. Like one of my questions, I'm like, oh, give me two of these things. I'm like, wait, no, it can only be this one because this is where I am in the flow. And like that has nothing to do with this. So like it really helps me.
That's awesome. And I love that you said I didn't look at any of those, no inputs, no outputs, no
Nope.
tools and techniques. So previous, and in general kind of PMP parlance or whatever, guru land, they tell you the opposite. Like if you were to refute that,
Yeah.
do you believe that you should or have to look at ITOs the way that normal people say you do?
I would say no. Not the way that I went through your class. Like when I was studying for my CAPM, I studied them so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not how the CAPM test really was either. It was more about like the logic behind everything. The PMP is definitely all situational. So just knowing how the process works, what am I trying to produce, what is this process for, you can determine just by that what you need.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that clears up. That's one of the reasons why we're able to get you through so efficiently and like holistically is because, and when you're working and, building a family and stuff
Yeah.
like that, like you don't have to spend all your time beating your head against a wall with all these ittos. It isn't needed.
If I had to memorize all that, there's just no way I could do it. I wouldn't have enough time.
Yeah. And I mean, really, like it's not practical. It
No.
shows no practical purpose. I don't think, just to be, curt about it.
And
Cool.
like you say too, it makes you a better project manager because you understand the process and why you're doing these things, and you can implement it in your like day-to-day job, which is super helpful.
So do you, you hit on it there, but do you think going through this has made you a better project manager, and what specifically has it helped you improve?
I think definitely is going to make me a better project manager going through the course, and like just some of the templates and the tools that you show, I'm like, oh, I could improve, my risk register, or I could improve the way that I manage my stakeholders and have those meetings and things like that. So I found it to be super helpful.
That's
It gave
really
me
cool.
more confidence
That's
as a
good. Yeah.
project manager.
That's cool. And like, I think one of the cool things that I don't know if I'll ask you, do you agree with this? And what do you think about it is the community aspect. Like we get students from all over the place coming in cold, and a
Who wants to
lot of
say
them
hi?
have, hey doggy, like,
Who wants to say hi?
hey, what's up? That's cool. A lot of them have come from different places and they feel alone. Um, did you feel a sense of community or anything with the coaching calls and the chats and the calls and the texts and things like that? Was that a part in your development?
Yeah, definitely. I've actually been chatting with this one girl, Jan, about our experiences that we had with the technical issues and the home proctored and how awful it was, and like just encouraged each other to like push through and like reschedule and things like that. The coaching calls were super helpful. Everyone is just so great at like helping each other, talking through things. You could put a question in there. I could text you, you would text me back, call me back. Like you don't get that anywhere else with any other program. And it just gave me such a sense of like security and like that you actually care, and it's not just like, like a paper pushing process, you know what I mean? Like, and it gave me tools that I can take with me throughout my career. So
That's awesome.
thank you.
uh, yeah, it means a lot that you say that. So I appreciate that we were able to do it. And like, that's with the whole team. Like, it's been so great. Like, we'd ask you if you want to coach, but I know you got some stuff going on in the next couple of months. So, yeah, I know that you got to handle. So that's really good.
Yeah,
Well,
I've been telling all my old coworkers that I worked with at different companies, they're all like, you passed, that's awesome. Like, what did you use to study? I'm like, 7-day accelerator, because they all know, like, I didn't pass my first time.
yeah.
And so they're like, wait, it hasn't even been that long since you took it the first time. Like, what did you do differently? And so they're all like, give me the info. They're like super excited.
Oh, that's cool. Well, we're starting this new thing where nobody knows about us yet. I mean, compared to all these other people that are bad at their jobs. And so we're giving the trial to everybody, like 3 days, like come to a coaching call, get involved. We got a network that can sustain you now. Watch the videos, do that stuff, and let's get this PMP. And, the 7 days is like you took 14 days. You work full time, pregnant, you got things going on, you got a dog, like you got things. I think the 7-day accelerator, I want to get across to people is it's not, you can do it in 7 days.
Yeah.
Sure. Plenty of people have done it, but it's really a customized program and a training program for everybody. Cause like Kelly was there. If you would have taken it in 2 months, Kelly would have still been with you. I would have still been with you, whatever. So yeah, we're on board.
I did the master class as well.
Right.
So cause I, with the 7-day accelerator, I had access to like the simulator. I like did the focus knowledge areas and processes in those. I did the master class, all of those, like, yeah, so I did both. And I think that both can help you.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they're different levels of depth. And like I created the masterclass first, and it's super in depth, and it's all the details and all the process. So we use it more for reference. And it is a good, after you go through the accelerator, if you want to go deeper, like boom, hit that thing. But they both work real well. So together, even better. So that's cool. Well, I'm really, really proud of you. You are number 86. So I know that's you're well, I can't say that out loud. But it's a special year. And so good job. We appreciate everything you've done, and you did a great job. And now on to baby number 1.
Yes. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you. So before the 7-day accelerator, I was feeling defeated. I failed and did not do well on the exam at all. As soon as I started the 7-day accelerator, I knew that I was in a good place because of how much you cared and how enthusiastic you were about project management and the flows and how logical you made everything. I'm a better project manager now because of that, because of the tools that you showed me. And like, I took some of those and was like, oh, I could update my risk register to be better. And I haven't included this before, or I know better now how to work with stakeholders. I totally recommend the 7-day accelerator because I'm 9 months pregnant, doing 2 weeks, and I was in a tight schedule. My job in the summer is so demanding. I've been working overtime, pregnant, got my puppy dog, and it took me 14 days and I passed. So if I can do it, you guys can do it.
That is awesome. Holy cow, that might be the best one yet. So I appreciate it. All right, cool. I'm going to turn this into a podcast for today, Lord willing. And I really appreciate it. I'm going to stop pausing. I'm going to stop recording for a second.